Hi, Viktoryia Urukova is an artist, graphic designer, explorer at heart, and founded OrganicDesign Studio after she left the corporate world, the job in B2B, marketing millennial. She began her mission to help businesses express their unique authenticity through brand and the rising emotional economy. The studio specializes in brand identity, development, user experiences, and graphic web design for rapid startups, influencers, and social. More about Viktoryia's business, please visit OrganicDesign.com. Hi YouTube, I'm here with my friend, my dear sister. She's like a little daughter or a sister to me, and I've known this lady now for, I would say, 10 going on 15 years, maybe longer.
Yes,
and our path kind of went a different way for a little while, and now we're united again because she has a very, very important message. As you know by the bio that I read, she has a very interesting, but she decided to start something brand new, very innovative, very creative, as I read by the bio. By the way, my name is Lizzy. I am the host of the LizyT Show on YouTube, and I'm glad that you're here, YouTube. So let me introduce you to a very good friend. My goodness, I can't believe you're here after all this year. Tell us, how did you have the idea after you left the corporate world? Because you are very creative, right?
Yes.
Vika, that's how I used to call her, but grown up now.
Still works. Vika still works.
So after you decided to leave the corporate world, how did you come up with the idea for your business?
The idea for my business always was in me.
Yes.
I always loved to communicate. I always was creative. And I loved marketing, but not in traditional way as we know it. And as I was doing B2B marketing in corporate world for a big corporation, as corporate as you can get, as traditional as you can get, and I knew it's exactly opposite of what I wanted.
Yes.
So being there, even before, when you had something, it's cooking in you and you still don't know the shape it's gonna take. So I loved communication, I loved helping people bring their vision to light, and I did it with paintings, I did it with different medium. And then when I left corporate world, I understood with branding, that's exactly what I do. I'm helping people translate their vision, take their babies, their passion projects into the light, and teach them a different way of marketing, like more authentic and real marketing today.
One of the things that I love about your creativity is the art that you have, not only with your painting, but with your photography. That I could tell from a young person, a young lady, that you always had that within you, and I'm not surprised at all that you started this business. Now you're a traveler because you go all over the world, and by the way, everyone, Instagram, she's leaving tomorrow for Australia, but she will continue working online and definitely wireless and
yes, I will be doing webinars and doing all my work online, Wi-Fi. Rocks.
Awesome. Yeah, and so connect with her. So one of the things that I love about what you do is the creativity. Now, as a young person, would you always creative, like to paint? I remember you doing some expos, some galleries.
Yes, I always was creative. Since I was a little kid, even before you knew me, even smaller. I always created, and even it wasn't an art, but it was creating something from nothing. Like child play and creativity, and I always like creating and everything. And I loved actually, but by my creativity, I love communicating something. All my creations had a message. So I had photography, it's different. I love sculpting, anything that it would be artsy, you say, or I would make something in home and I make little cups or whatever it is, DIY project. So whatever it is creative, there's always something, a message behind.
And now you're able to transport that into your customers' ideas, and because not everybody has a clear idea of what they want or how they get to that point where their business is actually showing what they portray. So you're able to captivate that.
Absolutely.
When you meet with them. That is interesting. Now the name OrganicDesign, I love it. How did that came about?
I actually had friends that were doing design at the time, and I was learning from them. If they're listening, they still design, thank you very much. And they came up, they interviewed me, and they said, everything about you is so creative and so authentic and organic. And they said, there's a name for you. And I said, it perfectly fits. And why organic? Because I do really love, like I mentioned, organic marketing. You know, it's not the traditional way of marketing. Today we live in an economy that's people care about each other economy. We don't want anymore be forced, be sold to. That marketing doesn't work anymore. Here's my product, buy. Or if we go networking and somebody says, here's my business card, buy. So we don't connect. We actually turned off by that in this time and age. Now we want to care. Now we really want to show people, you know, how we want to help and add value and make their life better. So that's where the name came from. It's, you know, different economy, different authentic people to people instead of business to business relationship.
One of the things that I remember well about you, Vika, is that you had the chance and the opportunity to work with somebody very special. I mean, you've worked with many people, yes. Many people that are happening out there, but one of them in particular comes to mind right now is Teresa Lurico.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about that experience?
That was amazing, of course, and it was by accident that I connected with her, of course. I was sitting at the conference and I said, somehow I have to be part of it.
Wow.
And my message is everything starts with a dream. And you know how my traveling started with a dream, the same started with this. I was sitting at the conference just as participant and I said, I gotta be part of it. Next year, just things fell into place. I connected with Teresa, we had a conversation, they were looking for designer, and I helped to create the brand for their next event, and I was helping with all the materials, and it was just unbelievable experience inside out to be able to be part of the conference, because it's social change and exactly the projects that I'm passionate to work with. And I'm fortunate because all my clients are actually clients that are innovators in social justice and ways, and there are a lot of amazing passionate projects that people do, and they make a difference in the society, in the community, in people's life. And this was like amazing experience for me because that was.
And that's one of the things about Teresa Lurico too, is her program or her event is called Social. So she wants to bring all different businesses, activities, people together, and is very organic. The way she does this is that a huge relationship. Now, for people that are wondering, well, you're traveling, you go on all over the world, you head into Australia, you're still able to connect and to work with people remotely.
Yes, absolutely. I work online. I of course always meet with people face to face. There's energy that's happening that you can't replace with the technology. But then you can take it online, and I will start
to the internet. We're here,
yes,
right?
Thanks.
We're here, and connect with her definitely. Now, you had a webinar that I had a little bit of the tail, and you were talking about how to connect, how business work on their website. Some people believe that there is no need for you to have a website, and I want to ask you, what would be the biggest mistake that people do when they're thinking about promoting their business, their career, their coaching, whatever it is that they do? They have they're mistakes. People think that they don't need website. People think that they don't need the advertisement or the PR. And I know you talked about that on your. So what would you say are the biggest mistake that people do when it comes to promoting or advertising, or even look into their business, their website? Or
so there are a few mistakes that people start with because we follow the trend and everybody screams marketing, go on Facebook, everybody jumps in, marketing, go on Instagram, everybody jumps in, without really understanding where the customer is. And that's why when I start working with the clients on their branding, and I say, who's your customer? First of all, you have to know you and your value, your mission, your everything that you're about. But then secondly, you have to know your customer. You have to see where they are. Because if you're going to spend a lot of money on Facebook advertising and Facebook groups, and it's actually not even your habit, and you're thinking you're doing good for a business, spending hours and hours, and all your followers are on Pinterest, all your customer audience, don't, just because everybody else is doing it, it doesn't mean that your niche market actually is there. So you have to start by finding out where are they. So it depends what your business is and where they are. If you, for example, do recipes, you are a nutritionist and you provide people recipes, people will be on Pinterest mostly.
Okay.
So it depends on you have to find, and there are ways to find where different groups of people are, and there's a lot of available tools online and for free, paid and for free, that you can use and utilize in order to find where your customer is, and then you spend your effort and your money into something that works. Then if they're on Instagram, then invest your time and money. And I always recommend to invest in one platform or two.
Yes.
Because people say, you know, I want to be everywhere, LinkedIn, and you don't have time. You're a business owner. You're wearing all these hats, and now you have to do LinkedIn, Twitter, and if it's not your habit right now, it's not going to be your habit in a week.
It's true.
It's just not going to happen. So you have to choose one platform, then maybe the second one at later once you master that one.
Right.
So that's what I think you need a focus.
On what platform you're going to be using for your business. If it's Instagram, it's Instagram. If it's Facebook, it's Facebook. Sometimes it's two, but it's impossible for you to be in all of them.
Exactly.
Right.
You can't be in all of them. Yeah, it's hard. Unless somebody is maintaining and helping you, or you're already all over all the time. If you're using and you're easy with that, then go ahead and continue, but make sure your customers are there.
Right.
Not only.
Well, it is a huge mistake. A lot of people I hear saying that you have to be everywhere, do everything. That's why there are PR, there are virtual assistants, and designing.
So I focus on branding. So I do visual. I capture your essence with your client. But because we work so closely, I dig into you and I do the market research. So with my marketing background, I will inject a lot of marketing tips of what you should do. So I will always recommend things that you should do specifically for a business, because we dive in. So it's not only, branding is not only logo.
Right.
Branding is all of everything that you do, your relationship with the customer. So that's what I do. I don't do specifically social media, but I advertise and branding within social media.
And that's, I think, one of the mistakes or the misconception. What branding is not necessarily advertisement, but it's changing the look, tunneling your business to that particular customer that is going to be perfect for you. Your avatar web seminar. Now, what would you say that are the biggest or the most positive things that a business can do to help their business? We talk about the negative, but how about the positive? And some businesses, some people, or some coaches might take it for granted.
So there are a few things you can do. So as I was teaching on my webinar and sharing, start with the client avatar.
So we're talking about good and positive things a business can do or are doing in order for their business to go to the next level. And can you give us a couple of tips and things the business are doing right?
All right, so there are a few things that you can do, and one of the workshops that I recently taught was on avatar. So create a very specific description of your client, who it is. It doesn't have to be one, it can be a couple, but really get into psychology of your client. What are their values, where do they go, and most importantly, focus what do they need. And this is number one mistake, is when people think of what the client is, and that's what a lot of businesses do. They think, okay, I think my clients are women, but it could be when you start working, you find out that more men come to your business because they need more the solution that you offer. So always pay attention what kind of clients you have, always based it on real facts, because it's never the case of what you think they are, and it was the case with me. So do your research. It takes time, but it's so worth it. It will save you so much time and money when you do, and you really, because you can really niche and target your marketing efforts to specifically to your client niche. So that's one. Then if you establish business, definitely do branding, because it will help you command expertise, because you will be seen as an expert. You're no more startups that figuring things out, and you have a value. Branding will help you save you a lot of money actually on marketing, where marketing is telling people, you know, I love you, please date me. With branding, you just show up, person looks at you and says, I see you're a good person, you love me. They understand the messaging without you saying a word. So imagine that's what branding does for you in a matter of 5 seconds, because that's exactly takes for a buyer to make a decision and to buy a product. So if it takes 5 seconds for them, so what would you say in 5 seconds? Which words? So it's just all branding. So branding and visual, so it has to be target specific. So if your business is already a few years in, 4 or 5, I don't recommend doing it for startups, but once you're in, you can do your branding and really take your business to the next level. So these are top things, I think.
And I think, well, for sure. Now, for more information, make sure you follow her. She is on Instagram, she is on YouTube, she is her website. It will be down here as well, just in case you have missed it. Now you have a webinar coming up, coming soon, right?
Yes, I will be teaching a webinar end of June. It will be on branding. I will teach brand anatomy, so what branding is actually and how to build it. So for everyone who's confused about this word, which a lot of people are.
Yes.
So I help you actually to get clarity around that, and you walk away with practical exercises on what you need to do for a brand. So that would be my free webinar, so feel free to follow Organic Design Studio.
But this lady can help you out with your branding, and don't forget to check her website out. Any last word?
Thanks so much, Liz, for having me. It's been real joy actually to be here and be part and be able to share with guys some tips with you. So it's been a real pleasure, and I'm really excited and looking forward to what will come out next. So
absolutely.
Thanks so much for having me.
It's my pleasure, and we'll talk to you guys soon with our next guest. Bye-bye for now.